There we go.
1 2 1 2. What up? What up? What up? Travel by car. Take two.
Travel by cock.
All right, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up, man? We back at it again. Travel by Cross podcast. In here with that boy Bailey. What's going on, Bailey?
What's good, dog? How y'all doing today?
Already. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Today we're gonna be talking about, believe it or not, black women. All right, but it's not what you think.
It's definitely not.
Definitely not what you think. These are times when black women really came through. So I know sometimes, we got all this beef and animosity sometimes around this time now. But, you know, it had to be some time when it was some type of black woman who came through, at least that I know of. So we're gonna chop it up on some times that black women really came through for black men and how that made us feel. So Bailey, we're gonna go ahead and jump it off, or you want me to jump into
So
it?
I'll jump it off. I mean, we could go as far back. So, like, I guess I want to give a real life situation that everybody will kind of relate to. Let's just go back to the civil rights movement, right? Coretta Scott King, Rosa Parks, plenty of other women. Those are just the two that most people gonna think of, right? And I'll say this because even from the beginning of, not even the beginning, in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s, people, like black people are fighting for rights.
Right.
A lot of people are looking at Martin Luther King and a lot of the other civil rights leaders out front, but you're not seeing the strong black women that are behind them really carrying them. And a lot of times, and this is a big one too, this is something that kind of recently came up in the past, like I would say 10 years, where people bring up Martin Luther King's infidelity. Now, not discrediting the infidelity part, but obviously at the time, people aren't really making a big note of this because it's not something that's in the forefront. That's their personal life. But as far as the public eye, what we can see, she held him down and kind of really was a backbone of the family, right? He had multiple kids, and she had to raise those kids. And think about the time that he devoted to the civil rights movement, her as well, but still having to hold it down at home. So she's not only with him on the road at times, but also back at home taking care of the kids, which is a big thing a lot of people don't consider. So Coretta Scott King is a perfect example of that.
Okay, so let's bring it forward a little bit, and not excluding our mothers. Do you have any time where you can remember in kind of modern time, where it was like a simple situation where they either had your back or just helped you out, or just like anytime you can remember off the top of your head? Especially you being an athlete, come from an
Yeah,
athlete
so
background.
that's a good point. I would say from an early age, get into all my practices. Not saying my pops wasn't there, but a lot of the times my dad, if he's working, my mom, she would leave work, have to leave work, come get us from school or get us from the house wherever we are at the time, and then take us to practice. And this is like youth league, so kids are, you at the house and your practice is a little later. So not only is she leaving work at about 4, 5 o'clock, she got to come get me from the house and then go take me to practice, which is a big feat. And being an adult now, it's like you kind of discredit that as a kid, like the time. Because think about what you do after you leave work now. You get
Yeah.
me? You spending a lot of time to yourself, devoting time to
Right.
yourself. And so this is a lot of time that, my mother didn't get. And it's just like when it comes to the domestic side, we all like to just look at our moms as like they're domestic, they taking care of us because that's what they're supposed to do. But it takes a lot more than what people think. And this is just like a very small example. Just taking you to practices, paying for gear, paying for tournaments, paying for just everything, just being there, devoting the whole weekend. I remember during track, my mother used to be there, to track meet all day, track meets all day, as you know, but that's a lot of time that they're devoting. And obviously a lot of people say, "Oh, it's your kids, so you're supposed to do that," but not really. It's a parent's job is to do what? Take care of you, feed you, clothe you, and house you, and that's the extent of their job. If they're doing that, they're doing their job. So to do anything outside of that is big time.
Right. I want to talk about the time when I was in the band. We stayed right across the street. I went to shout out to Maceo Smith in Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas. What's
One
up?
second,
So what happened?
because Randy calling me.